What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. This week is arguably one of the most exciting weeks that I've seen in the last couple of months. If we take a look at just the amount of news that we have coming this week, oh my God, this is one of those weeks where we want to be locked in. And if there is a week where I see the possibility of passing a funding challenge within the same week itself, I think it's going to be this one. In fact, I just started a new funding challenge and I'm going to try to pass it this week. If you guys would like to follow along that journey though, and live trade alongside with me, feel free to click the first link in the description box below. It's like a limited time thing. I'm not going to be doing this often, but for the next month, you get to trade alongside me. If that sounds interesting to you, click the first link. But otherwise, there's so many pieces of news. So we're not just going to be making a video about Bitcoin, but we're also going to be talking about USD Canadian, Euro USD. We're going to talk about Nasdaq. We're going to talk about gold. We're going to talk about oil as well as the Australian dollar. Like if you guys trade Forex remotely, and if you don't, like get into it, because this is the difference between, potentially making 1K this entire week versus like 10, because you're just going to have that many more opportunities. In fact, but we're still going to start things off on Bitcoin because, well, it's kind of the name of the channel. It's the art of crypto. And yet, believe it or not, trade a lot of Forex as well. So first things first, we are taking a look at Bitcoin. We have a bullish daily bias, which means we are supposed to be looking for a long today. Now, in terms of the weekly bias, we are bullish, which means, again, any opportunities that price goes below the weekly open is an opportunity to buy low and then sell the eventual expansion towards the upside. This is the exact way that I managed to predict last week that we were going to have a big bullish move, because not only did we finally get a breakout out of this range that we have been in the entire month of February, but started the week off at a retest, and then eventually the week went towards the upside. But one of the ways where I predicted the direction is using the weekly bias. And so far, the weekly bias is still bullish. So again, we're going to be looking for longs heading into this week. Chances are we may or may not get a fair value gap forming after today's daily close. If we do, then tomorrow is an easy opportunity where you retrace into the fair value gap before some sort of a pump. Now, it's not confirmed yet. What is confirmed though is that today we are looking for longs, and we have a couple of PD arrays that we're working with at the moment. So let me just remove that, phantom fair value gap, and let's start things off on this order block right here. When we get into this order block, we're going to look for price to hold within this order block and for price to basically just go towards the upside. Today, we do not have USD news, but today we do not have USD news though. So the trading window is literally just going to be 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we're just going to be looking for price to bounce during this period. On the flip side of things, you do not really want to see price get a candle close beneath this level, basically, which is 72,500. Because if you do, especially if you get a 1 hourly close below this level, it is not going to look pretty. You are going to come for this liquidity level, and there is a very high likelihood that you are going to get a bearish change in state of delivery, at which point, it is just going to become a no trade, and price is very likely going to reach these couple of levels instead. So this long idea hinges on this level holding as support. But outside of that, let's go into the 5-minute chart. And yeah, once you come into this level, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Now, there is a possibility that you will sweep the Asia lows. As long as you do not get that bearish 1 hourly close, you are going to be still all good to go for some sort of a long. And as usual, I'll be posting all of my live trades and all of my live executions on X for absolutely free. If you guys want to just see any updates, if I post any trades, then feel free to follow me on X. But outside of that, if Bitcoin does not give us an opportunity today, I'm going to talk real quick about, just going to do kind of like a rapid fire through a few Forex pairs. If you want to skip through that to just go forward into Ethereum, feel free to do so. But I would highly recommend stick around for these opportunities. And guys, if you have not started any sort of a Forex account yet, it is as simple as getting a funding challenge. Now, if you go with any prop firm, you don't even have to put in that much money, right? Let's say you risk $100 per trade. Well, maybe you can spend a couple $100, get a prop firm challenge, and boom, right? You would be risking that money anyways, but this $200 will give you exposure to Forex, which basically multiplies your number of opportunities that you will see on a day-to-day basis by 5x. And at that point, you pass the challenge, all of a sudden you have another 25, 50K to trade with. And that is how you move from where you are right now to making an extra few $1,000s per month in just income by getting funded. It is a lot less daunting. It is a lot more simple than most people tend to think, especially if you have only been in crypto this entire time. I get that, Forex can be a bit daunting because, well, the platforms look different. It almost looks like it's made in 2008. And it is, again, it feels foreign, and that's normal because you've never done this before. And yet, I'm telling you now that I was in the exact same boat where I've only known crypto. I know meme coins, but if you tell me to look at Euro USD, I'm like, whoa, what the hell is a lot? And what the hell is one lot? Well, it's a lot simpler than you might think. If you'd like to see me make a video on just how to get into Forex, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. But guys, hear me out. Forex, has a lot of good opportunities this week and you don't really want to miss them. So starting things off with euro, we are very close to some sort of a daily liquidity level, which means this plus the fact that you have a bearish daily bias means that this is one of the easiest trades. This is a super obvious trade where, let me just remove all of the drawings. Right now, you're coming back into this order block right here. All you're going to be looking for is a dump below the order block. And the beautiful thing is you have relatively equal lows. Going down into the 5-minute chart, you are currently approaching the Asia highs. If you get that during the New York session today, it might be the opportunity. But there is also a chance that the setup is going to be for tomorrow rather than today. Now, in terms of Nasdaq, you are again looking at a bearish daily bias. In terms of the 1 hourly, like you're coming back into this entire piece of resistance here. So it is as simple as taking a trade and targeting that. In fact, right now I'm already in the trade on the Nasdaq. We'll see if this plays out or not. Just half risk though, because these are relatively equal highs. Anyways, gold. This is also a very straightforward trade. You are very much in a downtrend on gold at the moment. So if you go down into the 1 hourly chart, you can see that price is coming straight into a hourly PDA rate. I'm also in a trade on gold right now and it's playing out. And yeah, this is super straightforward. Next, essentially the way that this is going to play out for you is you're just going to want to look for continuation towards the downside today. Super straightforward. Now, in terms of oil, this is also super straightforward. Again, you have a CISD already, which means that this entire block over here is a bullish order block. Right now, price is retracing. You're going to be looking for continuation towards the upside. And oil is just one of those assets where, like guys, it's not just the technicals that are showing you that it is going to go up. The fundamentals, well, the macroeconomics, right? Geopolitics, whatever you want to call it. Because of the war, oil is going to continue to go up. And it is still showing no sign of weakness yet. And if you are a trader, you may as well take advantage of this volatility because, well, like it's super straightforward, man. Because, well, traders make money when there is volatility. All right. And lastly, let's take a look at Australian dollar. Now, Australian dollar, you swept out some sort of a higher time frame key level over here in terms of the just somewhere like super far away. I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, like February 2023. So like 3 years ago. You swept out that key level and right now you're showing weakness. And right now you have a bearish daily bias. So you're just going to want to look for a short either from this order block or this order block. And keep in mind that you have news on the Australian dollar over the next couple of days. In fact, you have news on the Australian dollar over the next 3 days. So you are starting to see how this is one of the highest potential opportunities for, this week. Now, USD Canadian, you have just gotten a bullish CISD towards the upside. So right now you're going to want to be bullish for the foreseeable future. In terms of the daily bias, you are bullish. And right now you're coming back into a couple of hourly VD arrays. You guys know exactly what to do in this case. Lastly, we're going to move on to the rest of the crypto pairs. And so far, Ethereum, you're coming back into some sort of bearish resistance, but you are still having a bullish daily bias. So you're going to want to be looking for a trade towards the bullish side of things. And in terms of that, you have this fair value gap. Basically, between 7 to 10, you're going to want to look for a bounce or a 5-minute CISD towards the outside, and you are going to be all bueno. Now, in terms of Solana, you're finally breathing a little bit of life back into this chart. Basically, like it is time now where we can focus a little bit more on Solana rather than just purely strictly on Bitcoin. Now, Solana, you're coming back into this bullish order block, so the setup is super straightforward. Nothing too much to talk about here. But guys, if there's one thing you take away from this video, get into Forex. The amount of opportunities this week is insane. It could literally be the difference between 1K to 10K. It could literally be the difference between getting a couple of good trades on Bitcoin versus getting like 10 to 15. If you take into account that you have quite a few Forex pairs to trade from. And if you guys are interested, I will definitely keep you guys updated on any opportunities that I see in terms of Forex. In fact, everything that I've talked about here has been sent into the VIP group prior, which is basically that live trading group with me. Again, I see myself passing a funding challenge within this same week. And if you guys would like to join in that, as well as just an extra 4 more weeks of live trading alongside with me, feel free to click the first link in the description box below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later on X. Peace out.